You can't tell, but we're all naked.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Weekly Loop. I'm your host, Matt Urey, along with my co-host, Anthony Williamson.
Hello.
Or Dan Yan, as he's known in over 30 countries.
Oh,
At
gosh.
this point in time. Yeah,
So
they have warrants on you.
They probably do.
We got such an exciting show for you guys tonight. We got so much to get into. I'm super pumped about tonight. You ready?
I am.
Are you super excited?
I'm super excited. You know why?
You always say that.
Because the dead walk among us once again.
Oh no.
No, I don't mean The Walking Dead, but I am referring to its ugly but dateable cousin from Fear the Walking Dead.
It is kind of like it's ugly.
It is.
It's like its ugly cousin, but it's alright.
Yeah, it's got a nice
As long
body.
as somebody sees you doing it, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's okay.
This past Sunday, the mid-season premiere episode entitled Grotesque aired on AMC to millions of dead, hungry fans.
Grotesque.
Now, what'd you think of the mid-season premiere of Fear the Walking Dead,
Oh
Matt?
man, this is happening, ain't it?
It is.
This is really just happening.
We're just going right into this.
I think out of the group, I think I'm probably the biggest Fear the Walking Dead fan.
I believe it.
Let's talk about the show a little bit.
Okay.
It's mainly about Frank Delane's character, Nick Clark.
Mhm.
It's pretty much just him the whole time,
Yeah.
except for a couple flashbacks. It's not only really,
Can you see his old girlfriend?
yeah, just some flashbacks. You get to see a little bit more about his life. It's pretty much just him, what he does after the horrible, ending of last season, or I guess last mid-season.
Yeah.
Everything just went up in flames, literally.
I didn't see
Everything
it.
went up in flames, and he kind of went off and did his own thing. It's pretty much just him just wandering around and him trying to survive. And I think there's a couple of things he does to survive that I think is kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah.
When he drinks his own urine.
Yeah, I called that.
You did call that. I think everybody kind of knew what was about to happen.
Yeah.
But, I always thought that you couldn't. I was always like, oh, you can't drink your own urine to survive. But I was watching The Talking Dead later, and they pretty much said that, they've been doing some research, and you can actually drink your own urine for a couple of days until it just kind of, I guess it kind of gets filtered so much there's really nothing left but the bad stuff.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. I thought, you can't drink your own urine, but I guess you can for a couple of days.
I guess
But he does, man. He just, just does it right in his hand and sips it up.
He did eat the cactus
He loves
though. And made him throw up.
Oh, yeah, he ate the cactus and it made him vomit. I mean, he was just having a rough time. It was a strange episode because it was kind of like he had, everything he'd do, he would mess up, But
he's
then
lucky.
somehow some kind of miraculous thing would happen to save his life,
Yeah.
Like some crazy woman just comes in and beats him with a baseball bat, steals his water. But yeah, he looks up, and it's just like one thing after another. He keeps looking up into it.
Yeah, because he kept running into he ran into the guys on the road with the guns.
Yeah.
And does it ever explain who those guys are?
No, I don't think.
I know
so.
it doesn't in this episode. But.
No, I don't think it's going to. I think it was just kind of passing by.
Oh.
Passerbys, I guess.
I think so. Mexican Rick.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so lucky. And then he finally, I guess, collapses due to dehydration and just pain from having savage wild dogs bite his leg off.
That was another thing. He had to end up eating dogs.
Yeah, he finally succumbs to it and collapses. And wouldn't you know it? Guess what? It's going to come a rainstorm.
Of course.
I was going to come a rainstorm and save his life.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just like a story of luck, really.
Really
One
was.
thing after another. But I like this episode. I think Fear the Walking Dead's finally getting into that survivor mode.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the first season was more like, these are the characters, this is what they're going through. It was kind of like them discovering what the apocalypse was. And which was cool and all, but, at the same time, it's not The Walking Dead where Rick just wakes up and
Oh, yeah.
he's smack dab in the middle of it.
Yeah, it's probably great.
Um,
There is. I think it reminded me of it, though.
Yeah, it was a little bit slower, man. It was a little bit slower paced. I think it's what a lot of people kind of didn't like about the first season. But now you're getting into it, and it's kind of like really... Even the first part of this season was kind of still them trying to figure it out and trying to get things. But now they're in straight survivor mode. Now they're just wanderers.
Yeah.
Everybody's split up. The group's split into all kinds of parts, and everybody's wandering and trying to find shelter and safety and find their way in the world. And I like that. I think it's getting to a point where I don't know, it can be a little bit different.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm
dying to know what you think. Really, I've been wanting to know what you think forever because I watched the episode when it first premiered.
I didn't.
And I was just like, man, I can't wait to see what Anthony thinks about this.
I literally just watched it maybe 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I've only seen 2 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. The first episode and this episode.
I think this is a good place to start, though. You know, honestly, like I think if you're going to start getting into it, I think this is probably because, like I said, the first one's more just like these are the characters, this is what they're into, with a couple kind of cool incidents they get into. But other than that, it's just.
Well, I didn't get into Fear the Walking Dead. I watched the first season on Netflix. I really wasn't that big of a fan of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched the episode where Herschel gets his head chopped off, and I was like, man, this show's awesome. And I went back and started watching it. I watched everything. I've not stopped watching it since. But this, to me, it's missing.
Mm-hmm.
It's missing the characters. I guess that's why I like The Walking Dead so much, because of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
This one, right now, I don't have any characters that I really care that much about. Nick's alright, but he's not Rick, you know?
Well, I don't think he's meant to be Rick.
No, he's not, but still.
I don't know who you'd really compare him to. If I had to compare him to somebody in The
Carl
Walking
as a
Dead,
kid.
no, if I had to compare him to somebody, I'd probably compare him to Glenn. Because he's just real lucky.
I can see that.
You know what I mean? Because Glenn's real lucky. When you think about The Walking Dead, like, he's really lucky.
Maybe.
Like, he gets a lot of scraps and gets out some stuff that he shouldn't be able to get out of.
That's true. Just hiding under a
And I
trash
think
can.
he's that kind of guy. I think Nick's kind of that kind of survivor. You know,
Look,
if he wasn't joining Rick and him, he would be the guy that goes out and gets stuff.
I can see
You know what I mean? He would be like, "Oh, Nick, we need you to get some bandages." He'd be like, "All right, I'll be back," and he would just go do it and be back. You can count on him.
He's going to take Glenn's place after Negan kills him.
That's crazy. But to me, if I had to compare somebody, it's loosely comparable to Glenn.
Mhm.
He's a little bit. His psyche isn't quite the same as Glenn because he doesn't really.
Now, Glenn was ready to go out there and do it to
Yeah,
help the group.
yeah. I think Frank Lane's character is more. He more doesn't fear the dead. He wants to
B?
be the dead.
Yeah.
So he's a lot different. I really like his character. Frank Lane's probably one of my favorite characters of the show.
Mm.
I just really like. I really like Nick because it's such a good outtake. Because when there's one scene in the first season where they say something. I forget what the conversation was, but he pretty much says, "I've been doing this a lot longer than you have." You know, like he's pretty much saying, "I've been in this world for years."
Yeah.
Because he has been an addict, and he's been like kind of wandering and surviving and finding ways to survive. So he's ready for it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he knows how to pick a good place to squat.
Yeah,
You know,
I guess he
He knows
does.
how to lay low. And
The first place he ran to when
he's been avoiding people with guns his whole life, so he's not. You know what I mean? He's not too worried about it.
That's true.
So
I thought it was funny that the first place he went to when he got to Tijuana was the drugstore.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean that's because he was pretty much injured.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah,
had
the
to
dog
be,
bat.
but it was just kind of funny to me.
I like the dog part because you would think that they would be like packs of crazy
yeah.
animals out there running around. Because there's a lot of dogs in the world. A lot of people don't know that there's dogs everywhere.
There really
So
is.
there would be a lot of wild scavenger dogs. I think they kind of brought it up.
In
Was
Walking
it the
Dead?
season before The Walking Dead? Like when all the dogs going to come out and they all just shoot them and eat them.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? So that was kind of
Yeah,
like they kind of stole that a little bit from the Walking Dead.
I did eat him.
I remember you said something when they were first previewing this season.
Uh-huh.
And there's a clip in the preview where it shows Nick kind of being held down on the ground, and they pull his hand out.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And you said
hand
you think he'll get his hand cut off like Rick. So that'd be cool to see if that comes up to fruition or not.
They might just use
See if
it.
you called that.
I don't know, because a lot of times the previews, they'll show stuff, and it'll make you think something's going to happen, but it never even happens that
Because
way.
you do call a lot of stuff.
I do
I
sometimes.
mean, I didn't think about it till like today, but I remember like watching shows with you and stuff that you'd be like, you've never even seen the show, and you'd be like, I know, I bet you this happens. And then it does happen, and I'm like, man, so you have some real good instincts about what people are going to do.
I guess so.
So that'd be kind of handy in the apocalypse, I guess. It'd be like,
Oh, yeah.
it'd be like, nah, he's gonna try to get us over there. He's gonna try to maybe trap us over there.
That guy with the barbed wire baseball bat, let's stay away from him.
Stay away from that guy. We should work out a deal with him immediately. Then betray him later.
Yeah, take it.
So we'll probably listen to your advice if the apocalypse ever happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't go too well in modern times, but maybe in the post-apocalyptic world, it'd be pretty good. This show. Wait. Okay. It's now time for our Loot Chest rating.
Yes.
This is the part of the show where we rate the newest film, video game, or comic book. We do this by awarding Loot Chest. It goes from 1 to 5, 1 being a total piece of crap, and 5 being complete geek nirvana.
Yeah.
Now, what is
I love
your...
Loot Chest reviews.
Do you? Maybe I should get mine. Because you're a bigger fan than I am.
Yeah. Mine would be pretty good.
I'll give it a 3. I wasn't real impressed, but I mean I wasn't disappointed by it. It was pretty decent.
I think it's enough to kind of get you like, oh, okay, we'll see what happens.
I could see this episode being like a filler for the actual Walking Dead show.
Yeah, I'd give it I give it a 3.5 probably. I'll get a little bit higher than you. I really like the episode, so I mean 3.5 is not bad. I like the episode, but it's just the problem with the Fear of the Walking Dead is it hasn't got to the point where, like, the problem with it is The Walking Dead comes on and they're just in this total chaotic, crazy mess all the time.
Yeah.
And you go watch the Fear of the Walking Dead and there's like, you guys know where to get some water at? And you're just like, come on, man. They're dealing with Negan, you're dealing with water, dealing with drought. Come on now. You know, so it's just a different. It's like the Fear the Walking Dead's got to play catch up a little bit.
Yeah, it really does.
You know,
because we've been spoiled by The Walking Dead.
Yeah, but you know, honestly, I think I do like the Fear the Walking Dead because I think it's a good in between. You know, it's like you don't have to really something to kind of pass the time while you're waiting for the
I can see that.
You know, for the real party to begin.
He's just hanging out with the cousin.
You know? Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like when you go to a concert, you know, and they've got like the opening bands, you know, that nobody really knows. Yeah. But sometimes they're like, oh, that's a pretty cool song, I guess. But it's still just something to keep you. Yeah, it's just something to keep you there until the real band gets there. Yeah. So they're kind of like the opener for Walking Dead.
And then the real band disappoints you.
Yeah.
I've been there before.
I'm just hoping that it starts getting going pretty good, and I got high hopes for it. I really do.
Well, it's already been renewed for a third season to air in 2017, so apparently AMC does too.
Yep.
This show, unlike its parent show, The Walking Dead, doesn't have a comic book version to refer to or draw ideas from. Mm-hmm. Although, I'm starting to think maybe some of the stuff that they don't do in the comic book, they might just throw in to the new one, like maybe chopping Nick's hands off.
Well, here's my question for you, though, and I've been wanting to ask you this.
Oh, God. Okay.
Ever since a couple of days ago I thought of this. Now, do you think this helps the show by giving it more freedom and more of a mystery to it? You know, as opposed to what The Walking Dead does, where it's kind of like it has that comic book to draw from, and it does have a little bit more.
I don't know. Like, I probably would have said yes before I seen the season finale of The Walking Dead, because I knew what was going to happen at the end of that episode, and that alone just made that the hardest episode to watch. Not because it was bad or anything, just because I knew something bad was going to happen. And I didn't know how they were going to do it.
Yeah, I think it's a blessing and a curse because they do have a lot of freedom, but it depends on which way they take it. Because I think sometimes when you have too much freedom, you can go the wrong way with it.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can see that. Like, I don't know, maybe Nick can control the dad somehow or something. They go that far out.
That'd be a little bit too,
that'd be
too much. That'd be going a little bit too far. But just
I think
it was weird. You got like that.
You did.
But it's just you know, I think that I kind of like that. I kind of like not knowing. Because like you said, when The Walking Dead comes on, I mean, you know, like when okay, for example, King Ezekiel.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming into this.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Okay, so, but we know who King Ezekiel is.
Oh, yeah.
We know who he is.
We know
kind of what he's like. So it's not really going to be as a surprise as to when, you know, you watch Fear the Walking Dead and you see like some gunmen show up on the road and you're like, are those guys part of a bigger band or is it going to be something down the road? You don't know.
That's true.
You know? As opposed to Walking Dead, when they show up and they're like, oh, all your stuff belongs to Negan. You knew who Negan was.
God,
you knew what was coming.
You're excited
about it. I don't know. It's kind of hard because you are excited about seeing those characters that you love in the comics come to life. But I'm kind of excited to see what Fear the Walking Dead brings up. Are they going to bring characters as equal to Negan? Do you think they can bring something like that?
They can bring
maybe governor status, maybe?
Maybe comic book governor status would be cool. And then just goes that hardcore.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know. It's just, it's hard to say yes or no to that because it's hard. You know,
it really is.
It's awesome that they have more freedom, but at the same time, like I said, you still got to watch what they do with that freedom. They could really jack it up.
They might.
They could really get real crazy.
I don't know. It's always just going to be filler time for me. Fear the Walking Dead.
You think so?
I really do. I think it's just going to be building up back to
you should keep checking it out. You never know. I think it's getting better.
I hope they
a lot of improvement.
I hope they blend it in at some point.
Together. A lot of fans are talking about that.
And the lady becomes Alpha from the Whispers. I can't remember her name.
That'd be really weird.
That would be.
Maybe something after they catch up to the comic book and surpass it. Maybe they can.
Oh yeah, they got a lot of catching up to do.
Bring the Fear of the Walking Dead in.
Yeah. I don't know. They still got a lot of comic book stuff to go through.
It could happen. They're kind of really, really far apart though.
Yeah.
Because at this point in time, The Walking Dead's in Virginia.
Yeah.
And Fear the Walking Dead's in Mexico. So there's still a lot of catching up to do. It's football season once again. And, of course, that means a new Madden NFL game
Well, of course.
every year. Now, Madden NFL 17 was released on August 23rd and is now available wherever video games are sold. If you don't know, the game has had solid review scores. It's got an 8.5 from Game Informer and an 8.6 from IGN, which is really good scores.
It is really good scores.
You know, Madden, man, it's kind of become a staple at this point in time.
It really has.
Video games. I mean, it's just
Every year.
every year you're gonna get a new one.
Absolutely. There's a few games like that.
I'm gonna jump into a little bit of sports talk first.
Let's do it. I love sports.
You know, the thing I hate about like the sports games is there's no competition anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, remember those days?
Yeah. Really.
Those days, I mean, Madden just kind of like took over the NFL, and there's no kind of
competition.
Yeah. It's just, you know, they could give you like a total piece of crap, and there's nothing you can do about it.
That's true.
You know, but luckily, Madden's not a piece of crap. It's pretty good, but it isn't a piece of crap. We just don't know it's a piece of crap because we haven't played anything else.
That's true.
It makes you wonder. It's like everything.
We don't have any NFL Blitz to compare it to.
Oh man,
I love the NFL Blitz. It was so much fun.
That's fun. Not much changed from last year. You pretty much got your same thing online.
Mm-hmm.
You got your season. What I like to do on Madden is like fantasy drafting.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fantasy draft fan in sports. I like to make my own team and pick the characters that I want to get. You're always trying to strive for that perfect draft where you get just all those awesome players.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't understand fantasy football very well. You can't get like Thor as your quarterback or anything. It's not that kind of fantasy.
No.
Okay, just double check.
Have you played any fantasy football?
No.
You should.
I probably should.
That's not too hard. I think you only pick a quarterback, a wide receiver, a tight end, and then a defense. Pretty much your main things.
And
running back.
You get points on how well they do that week.
Yeah. Like if your quarterback, like every time they score a touchdown, they get so many points and stuff.
Mm.
So, fantasy football's fun. Madden's pretty fun. I hate doing reviews of Madden, and I hate doing reviews of NBA 2K because they're pretty much the same thing.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of times you really watch reviews, people are more nitpicking than they are anything.
Mm.
You know. So, but I mean, do you play a lot of Madden? Or do you play the college games?
I have. It's been a while since I played the college games. It usually depends on how good Tennessee.
I don't think they do. They didn't do a college game this year. I don't think they're doing them anymore.
I think they've actually stopped. I'm not really sure.
Sad.
It's been a few years since I've done it. The NCAA games.
That's so sad.
I used to play the
I
crap
don't think
out
they
of
make
those
them
games.
anymore.
Yeah, I think they stopped.
I can't remember the last one I saw.
It might have been like 2008 or something.
Man,
Maybe.
That's sad.
It always.
I like college a little bit more.
I love college. I love college more than I do professional.
Now, my brother gets into a lot of Madden. He really likes the Madden games.
Yeah.
I used to be a big fan of Madden. Let me tell you a story
Okay.
about why Madden drives me crazy right fast.
Okay.
I have played Madden for years. I mean, just at least a decade of Madden. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried really hard, but for some reason, whenever I put it on like Pro Madden, I get on the hardest difficulty.
Right.
I cannot beat that computer. I don't know why. I mean, no matter how good I am at that game, I can go online and just tear people down like they're nothing, and then I can go home, put it on like the hardest difficulty, on Madden difficulty, and play the computer, and they will beat me by like 30 points. It's so annoying, and it's not like they beat you, like it's not like they outsmart you.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like I don't know. It's like they're gonna tackle your running back. Oh, he's gonna fumble it. No, he's gonna fumble it. They're gonna catch it. They're gonna run it back for a touchdown.
It's basically the computer.
Yes, it's just like, my goodness, man. You know, and it's just like you'll throw it to like the best receiver in the game and just drop it. You're like, seriously? The best receiver in the game can't catch a pass?
That just sounds like the game's cheating.
it's just dumb. Like I've really played Madden before, and I've literally fumbled like 10 times in one game.
Oh wow.
It's complete insanity.
That's crazy.
That's just that's my one big hit on Madden. That's the one thing that just drives me completely insane, and it makes me want to take the game out, go out behind the house, and shoot it with a shotgun.
I've had games like that.
That's
before.
the one thing that takes me away from Madden. Because I feel like as much Madden as I played, as many man hours as I put into that game, I should at least be able to play on the hardest difficulty.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Should, yeah.
Let's get real about this.
That Guitar Hero.
Yeah. I mean, I should at least be able to do that. I don't know. Let's go ahead and do a loot chase review of Madden. There's not really, like I said, there's not really a lot to talk about Madden.
Not really.
It's just they tweak it. They tweak it a little bit every year. They never get it perfect. It's not gonna be perfect. If you listen to a review and they're saying this is wrong, they're just nitpicking.
Right.
Okay, because Madden, at this point in time, I've given up. It's as good as it's going to get. Okay, just accept it.
Okay.
Everybody out there just accept it.
Basically, all they're doing is updating the roster.
All they're doing is updating the roster, minor tweaks here and there.
Mhm.
They're going to fix a few things, they're going to mess up a few things. Just deal with it.
Kind of like WWE.
Yeah,
Their new guys.
yeah, pretty much. It's like they're going to get something out and they're going to get something. It's like that. It's like they always. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's like going to a restaurant, like, oh, they finally fixed their burgers. Oh, but they take that chicken sandwich away that a lot. It's like that, you know? It's like you're never going to be fully satisfied.
So, with that being said, what are you going to loot chest rate?
I'm going to loot chest rate at a 3.
A 3?
Just because it is. It's a good game. It's always fun for a little bit. I usually play it until NBA 2K comes out. And then I just go on to the next sports game and I'll play it for a couple months and then I'm done until next year.
So it's really only good for a couple months, basically.
I think so.
I can see that because that's the way NCAA games work for me.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that get into Madden. They do have tournaments and stuff, and you can. I think they have championships and stuff for it. But to me, it's just not. I just never could devote that much time to it. Like I said, I'm more of a I like to pick it up. I fancy draft it, try to make the best team I can, and I'll play a season with it, and I'm pretty much done. The career modes are pretty fun sometimes. I don't know. I miss the old days when you could play a college. Like you get your college team, start your character, put him on like Tennessee or something.
Yeah.
I know you like that. Play through on that, and then pick up your Madden game, put it in, and draft the player that you just created on your team.
So that's neat.
They don't do that no more. So that's kind of a shot in the dark.
Let me tell you something. What I've done. Tennessee made it. It had to be around 2006 or something like that. 7. When Tennessee was actually number 1 in the basketball. And NCAA, and that's hard to believe now.
There's something wrong there.
Yeah, but that bumped me up, and then they want to go out and get NCAA game. Didn't realize it, but they didn't have the characters' names in because they were in college and they can't get the funds from it. But I went in there and I changed every single character's name to the actual character, and I was like, all right, I'm ready to win this game now.
There's a lot of debate going on. We won't debate it today, but there's a lot of debate that a lot of people feel that college players should be able to monetize and stuff like that because. A lot of the bigger especially the bigger programs, they do treat them like professionals. You got to think they make them practice 2 times a day. They make them go to these games, and the colleges are selling these tickets for high prices. Yeah, you're paying a lot of money to watch these kids play, and these kids are not seeing nothing from it. If they get injured, like a devastating injury, there goes their entire career.
Yeah,
because they can get their scholarship taken away. They can they not get to go pro. So there's a lot of, I think there was like a union lockout a year or 2 ago. One of the colleges tried to lock out. And I tend to go more towards the kids on that. I think they should. Because if you're going to treat them like professionals, you should pay them like professionals.
I agree with that somewhat. Especially the scholarship thing. They shouldn't be able to lose their scholarship. If they went, let's say Kentucky got a new player and he got a scholarship to play basketball and he got injured. Well, he should still keep that scholarship if his grades are still like above average.
Yeah, it's just because they only have so many college scholarships they can do each year. So to them, it's like, why give a scholarship to somebody that we can't even have in our program when we can just go out and get somebody else?
Right.
So it's not about the kids, man. The colleges are using these kids basically, and they're making tons. You got to think about how many millions of dollars they're actually making off this.
Right.
Have you seen how much some of these ticket prices are for these big games?
Outrageous. Battle Bristol's crazy right now.
Yeah, they're outrageous, and these. The colleges and stuff are just raking in the dough. The kids are not getting nothing from it. Everybody's like, oh, they're getting free education and all this. They are, but at the same time, you don't get to see behind the scenes. You don't see how many workouts they have to do, how many. Because I'm pretty sure they're probably on a strict diet program. They're probably going to work out so much a day. They're probably having so many practices a day, and they've got to try to get their schooling done and keep up with the grades.
Oh yeah, well, this is why a lot of I won't name any names, but Tennessee had a big problem not too long ago because they're so worked up with. Like working out and school and everything else, and puts a lot of pressure on them. They just want to go out and have a good time, which I'm not going to condone anything they do that gets them in trouble, but that's probably why they do some of the things they do, just to kind of get a little freedom, I guess, in a way.
It's just, like I said, I don't want to get into too big of a debate on it.
Oh yeah, let's not do
that. I think that I do agree with a lot of the players. I think if you're going to treat them that way and you're going to use them as sales tickets, then they should be able to.
Oh, definitely. Because all they're working for is more scholarships.
Because it's not like they have a choice. It's not like they can say, well, I don't want to go scholarship, go to the NFL. They don't have that choice. They have to go to school. They have to do this.
Like basketball, that's played this 1 year.
Yeah, so you're pretty much forcing them into it, and then you're not paying them anything. You're putting them through all this stress and stuff. And then if some of these kids, you know, who come from nothing, have nothing.
Right.
You know, like their parents and stuff are living in the middle of nowhere, and you know they're losing their house, and somebody says, "Well, we'll give you a little bit of money." Then they get in trouble for it.
Yeah, I know.
You know, and it's like, what do you expect them to do? You're making them do this when they could be, not doing this and going to the NFL and making tons of money and taking care of their
They
family.
didn't have to worry about getting in trouble then.
So I mean, I don't want, that could be a big debate. I mean, you can debate
Really could.
that all day long.
Kobe Bryant got lucky. He came around before they threw that little.
Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with the players on that. But anyways, Madden, check it out if you like.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 3. I pretty much agree with everything you just said.
Yeah, it's Madden.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really change it too much.
This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite parts of the show.
It is.
It's finally time for Anthony's neat stuff of the week.
Oh,
now,
cool.
for those of you who don't know, Anthony has searched every part of the internet looking for the greatest geeky, neat stuff known to man. And we've had a lot of good, neat stuff on this show.
Mm-hmm. You want to recap a little bit?
And
nah.
We can. My favorite neat stuff you had was probably the flamethrower.
Oh yeah.
Where you can actually be pyro for a second.
I actually seen somebody using that. He actually got a Guinness World Record. He dressed up. He made cosplay of Batman, and he actually used that little mini pyro thing.
Did you really?
Yeah, he had that built in.
I do like that. That's probably one of my favorite neat stuff.
I can't remember mine.
I
can't remember any of them. Snorlax. I remember Snorlax, but that was last week. So.
That's so sad.
And a pickle. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I'm always.
They just put some neat stuff out there, man.
I should buy a pickle.
Yeah,
I should play it after we got there.
If you guys just knew the show, Anthony's neat stuff's pretty cool. He's gonna give you something good.
Mm-hmm.
Go check it out. You might actually like it. So, what's your neat stuff of the week, Anthony?
It's at thinkgeek.com again.
Oh man,
I've been swarming thinkgeek.com, just checking everything.
It's a great site.
I know it might be up for a few months. Maybe just throwing some Think Geek stuff out there.
Do you get tired of it?
Yeah, it might not take very long. It is a Zelda Ocarina. It's $39.99.
What do you mean, like an actual ocarina?
Yeah, well, it's like a flute type deal. It's a little bit smaller than an actual ocarina.
Can you play it?
Yeah, it's completely playable. Bad stuff about it is it's kind of small.
How small?
Like
Do you know the dimensions?
No.
Like baby dimensions?
No. You know the size of your mouse there?
Yeah.
About an average size mouse, it maybe double that size. That's it.
That's it. I would like it to be bigger.
I would too. That's the bad stuff.
Where's it at? ThinkGeek?
ThinkGeek.com.
That's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having an ocarina sitting on my shelf.
It's completely playable, so you
on my
can
shelves in here.
you can learn the Song of the Storms or whatever it's called.
Hello, baby. Song of the Storm.
I don't remember the exact.
Can you play it and it'll take you back in time?
It'll make it rain.
that's a lot. Don't listen. If you listen to this, it will not make it rain.
No, it'll make it rain. And then you make your horse come to you too.
Yeah, horses will swarm your house apparently if you play this ocarina.
That'll happen.
That'd be horrible. I'd like to get that and then play it and then just you go outside and there's just 1,000 horses around you.
Well, yeah, it's a free stable. Horses, I guess you can sell them.
I guess.
Unless it's your neighbor's horses, it doesn't matter.
Like you just think it happened, but your neighbor's horses just got out.
Oh yeah, they're just hanging out in the yard. So got me some horses, guys.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
I was actually gonna say something about my neat stuff for next week, so I was actually building up, and I completely forgot about what I was gonna say. So
you're gonna kill the neat stuff.
I'll bring it up next week, I guess. I forgot what it was. I really did. Should have wrote it down.
You know, man.
I am getting old.
You gotta write this stuff down a little bit.
I know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out by next week. I'll tell you what it was. Something to look forward to. Alright guys, for the next month we are revealing our weekly top 5s in various geek entertainment.
Yeah, it's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's mine too.
Actually.
These are just our own personal opinions based on our own experiences. This week's weekly top 5 is greatest comic book heroes and villains. We're going to start with our number 5 and work our way to number 1.
Yes, I'm super excited.
Let's start out with the villains.
Alright. Oh, you want me to go first?
You want me? Or you want?
I'm going first.
You want to go first?
I'm super excited about this.
Okay.
Now, my number 5 villain, which, before I start, let me tell you something. The villains, you would think that the heroes would be hard to choose, but mine was the villains, man. The villains were really hard for me to choose.
No, really? I think it was the opposite for me.
Not the 5, but in what order they should be in.
Oh, yeah.
Which is kind of difficult.
I can see that.
But my number 5 is a kind of a weird one, but it's Venom from Amazing Spider-Man.
I can see that. I wrote Venom down too. It was one of mine.
I think Venom's really iconic.
Mm-hmm.
He's just such a cool symbol. You know, especially really the story where Spider-Man gets the Venom suit.
Oh yeah,
that's classic, man.
It is classic.
That's just one of the coolest covers of the Amazing Spider-Man.
It really is. I think about the Sam Raimi movie now a lot when I think about
Do you really?
Venom. Yeah. But my favorite part of Spider-Man 3 was Tobey Maguire being a little jerk after he got the symbiote suit. Because that's just hilarious. Just looking back on it now, it's like
he kind of goes goth a little bit.
He does a little bit, don't he?
Or
He's
emo.
real jazzy.
Or emo. More emo, I say, than goth.
Yeah, he does
But-
do that.
It's very, very strange. But, yeah, Venom, man. Venom's my number 5. I dig me some Venom.
I wrote him down on mine, but I didn't
Okay.
put him in the list.
Ooh.
My number 5 is Rocksteady from Ninja Turtles.
Are you serious?
Yeah, well, it's comic book Rocksteady.
Nah, it is, but I mean...
It's IDW Rocksteady. He's still stupid. He's still dumb, just like the cartoon. But they're hardcore in the comics. Rocksteady's the one with the sledgehammer that busted Donatello's shell.
Yes.
Yeah,
Classic.
that's why I had to throw him in. I wish I had that comic book. I really
Classic
do.
story. Yeah, I'm sure you can get it.
Yeah, I caught it too late.
We
I wouldn't read
live in a
comics.
world where everything's gettable.
That's true, but it's more expensive now. I wish I'd got it when it just came out. But
Yeah.
that's definitely gonna have to be in my top 5 is Rocksteady, just because of that one thing right there.
That's an odd choice. I did not see that one coming. To be honest with you.
It worried me a little bit when I read Donatello. Well, they thought he died, but he didn't die. He was in Metalhead. And then he got I guess he got back in his body somehow.
Did they just super glue his shell back together?
Probably. I don't know. I didn't read the comic. But that was my number 5.
Oh, that's a weird one. All right. My number 4 is pretty big, pretty famous. It's Galactus. From
Oh
Fantastic
gosh,
Four.
I didn't even think about Galactus.
Wow, really?
Yeah, that's an amazing. That's a
Galactus, man.
Wow.
He's a god.
Yeah.
That eats planets.
He does.
I mean, how can you not put him as one of your top villains?
He was the last one out of his entire universe or something, wasn't he?
I
Like
think
he was
wasn't
left
it-
over after the Big Bang. in
But
the
wasn't
comics.
there like another one that was left too? Didn't they?
Probably. They changed it
I
up so
can't
much.
remember. I think there might have been one comic where they said there was like one more left
Oh, probably.
that knew him and stuff. But he's the World Eater, man.
Yeah.
Galactus. He's
Not very wide. Galactus.
I'm a big Fantastic Four fan, so of course I'm gonna put Galactus in there.
Yeah.
Probably just the biggest villain. I mean, when Galactus comes to town, you got to get some help. You know what I mean? You better call somebody. 'Cause you're gonna need some help. And just his whole story, man, with him and the Silver Surfer. To me, in terms of comic book series, the Galactus story it don't get no better than that.
Right.
It's just such a cool story, man. You know, we have a Herald of Galactus coming, and he's pretty much like, "Hey, man, your world's about to be gone," and then he just shows up and just destroys your world and just sucks everybody to death.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't get more iconic, more better than that in comic books. If you lived under a rock and don't know who Galactus is, and you think he's just some kind of big cloud,
Yeah, don't watch the movies.
he's not. He's the World Eater. One of the things I remember about Galactus is we had a friend that had a hero clip of Galactus. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
We used to play HeroClix when we were younger, and he had it was I want to say at least 12 inches.
Yeah, that was the first Hero Clip spot I ever had. It was against Galactus.
It was kind of, I feel like it was kind of cheating because he had like 3 different settings. Like I think he had like full, there was like a hungry, and there was like a starving.
Yeah.
Even on starving mode, man, he would just wreck your world.
I think I got close to beating him once with Dark Phoenix. But he still killed me.
I mean, it's just hard to beat Galactus. And they never really beat him. They pretty much just kind of gave him to leave him alone.
Basically,
It's
yeah.
not like they ever just like beat him up and say, "Yeah, take that, punk."
Yeah, we
Just
keep
kind of
killing.
like get him away, get away for a little bit. But to me, that's iconic. That's an iconic villain. I have to have him in there. If you don't know who Galactus is, check out Fantastic Four
Oh, yeah,
and read Galactus.
definitely. My number 4 may actually surprise you a little bit.
Your number 5 surprised me.
I'm sorry. But it's going to surprise you to the point where why isn't it higher up?
Okay.
Like, why is it not like 1 or 2?
Okay.
It's the Joker.
Oh man.
Yeah. I think
No
the
way you
Joker
put that small.
Well, I thought about it, and I thought about the other
It's the
characters that I
Joker.
had. Yeah. Well, the other characters.
You gotta explain your thoughts on this.
Well, I can later after I name off 1 and 2 why he wasn't 1 and 2, but he does do a lot in the comics, and he's definitely iconic when it comes to Batman.
Probably the most iconic.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about the Jared Leto
If
Joker because that's the worst one, but
it was not. But if not, I think to me he's the most recognizable.
oh definitely yeah,
You know,
yeah,
he just has so much material. You know, from TV shows to comic books to his own. I mean, he just pops up everywhere.
If you said a villain from comic books, I think people would automatically go straight to the Joker.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are just going to jump on the Joker as the most recognizable. He's just the most out there.
Oh, definitely,
You
yeah.
see him everywhere.
I mean, I wouldn't.
I heard at one point in time, it used to be like the Riddler. Remember, Riddler used to be everywhere. Like, he used to always have those question marks everywhere you went.
Yeah.
It kind of went away.
I think I wrote the Riddler down, too.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. I just kidding.
He used to be around, but I think, Joker's just more crazy. They just have so much of him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there'd be no Harley Quinn without the Joker.
That's true. These girls won't have anybody dressed up this year. If it wasn't for the Joker.
Everybody's going to dress up. Just so you know, if you're waiting for Halloween, there's going to be thousands of Jokers and Harley Quinns, since that's what.
Definitely.
You guys will get ready for it.
It's going to be worse than after Dark Knight when everybody was a Joker.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. Okay, but my number 3 villain, shifting gears a little bit here, going to DC, is Darkseid.
Darkseid's good.
To me, it came down to the Darkseid or Doomsday. The reason I didn't put Doomsday is because Darkseid's more. He's got the power, but he's also cerebral. He's very smart, very intelligent.
Oh yeah.
So he's not just like Doomsday's more of like a Hulk character where he's just I'm gonna go in here and break everything and kill everything, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Whereas Darkseid's more like I'm gonna come in and take over everything, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Right.
And it was real toss up. The Darkseid landed in there. He's probably not as well known. You don't really see him in a lot of movies or shows or anything, which is sad to me.
They hinted around this last time.
Yeah, that's real sad because I like to see Darkseid because he's in the comics. He's a huge part of the comics. I mean, he's a really, really bad villain. A lot of people think Doomsday is Superman's arch enemy besides Lex Luthor, but to me, on the equal ground, I think it's Darkseid.
I agree.
I mean, Superman and Darkseid is like the big prize fight you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can kind of outsmart Doomsday, which is really kind of what they do. They pretty much kind of beat him up and just ship him off. And I think the one I remember the most is where they strap him to a rocket and just send him into outer space.
Oh really?
I remember that in a comic book. That's my most memorable thing I think I read.
That's what they do the Hulk.
Yeah.
That'd be a good fight. Doomsday versus Hulk. Who do you think would win? Because Doomsday adapts, and the Hulk just gets more angry and he gets more stronger.
Probably the Hulk.
You think the Hulk would win?
I think a lot of comics have said that the Hulk is just an unstoppable force. Like there's nothing you can ever do to beat him.
Right.
But yeah, Darkseid, man, just he's not as recognizable. I'm sure any comic book fan listening will know Darkseid.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, if you listen to this podcast, you know who Darkseid is.
Probably agree with me. Darkseid's probably one of the best villains
Definitely.
in comic book history.
I agree with that one. It's not my list, though.
I don't know what's on your list now.
It's a mess.
It's kind of Kool-Aid you've been drinking.
I threw in a few X-Men because I love X-Men. And I was like, well, I'm going to pick one of my favorites. I threw in Dark Phoenix, which is a real good villain. Magneto, obvious choice. Juggernaut. But the one that I picked is my all-time favorite villain from X-Men. Can you guess who it is?
Magneto.
No. Apocalypse.
Ah.
I love Apocalypse. He's one of my favorite villains in X-Men.
He is a good villain.
Like, he should be unbeatable, but he's always beaten.
It's interesting you did because he's kind of like that Darkseid character. He's not really recognizable, but he is a big villain. In the comic book, he's huge.
Yeah.
When you hear Apocalypse, you're like, oh man, you get shivers.
Yeah.
But if you said somebody doesn't really follow comic books, they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, basically. And that's why I had high hopes for this last movie because I was like, man, they're going to do it right, and then they didn't
bring him to the
right.
forefront. I guess now people probably know.
Yeah, but they think he's beatable by killing him, but you can't kill him in the comics. Not like that, at least.
No, no.
But that is definitely my 3.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like I said, I like the fact you're picking not recognizable ones because
I'm weird.
Yeah, I got close to putting Apocalypse on there. I got close to putting Apocalypse on there, but it just drew back because I think there's just a lot more better villains out there. But Apocalypse is, I mean, he's.
Well, this is definitely my opinion. This is
like I said, if you're a fan of X-Men and you get into a section where Apocalypse is about to show up, you're getting ready.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're ready for some pain.
I love how he picks 4 guys to just follow him around. He doesn't need to. He just does it.
He just does it. He's got an ego.
Oh yeah.
If you don't really like Apocalypse, he's very egotistical.
He is.
He's. I don't know. He's that type. It's like
I'm the
greatest.
Yeah,
I'm the greatest. You should worship me.
He's gotta have people to worship him, so he's gotta have followers. I guess.
Pretty much. I'm gonna get you guys to do my dirty work. Sit back here and relax.
Oh yeah.
He's a good one though. I like that one.
Thank you.
Let's get to the top 2 now. I'm really excited about this.
Right.
My number 2 is not a surprise, but it's the Joker. So we kind of agree on that. My Joker's a little bit higher. Once again, just the most recognizable. Everybody knows the Joker.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
People don't know comic books know the Joker. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
That's true.
But so many iterations of him throughout the years.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, I just like the Joker. He's just
Everybody does.
He's just so popular and such a huge character. It's hard not to put him.
I think Heath Ledger's Joker is really what put me over the edge to really loving the Joker.
Really?
Yeah, like because I like horror movies, and it was almost like a horror type character the way he portrayed him. And I think that's what really brought me into liking the Joker.
I've always liked the Joker.
I've liked him.
I like the Jack Nicholson Joker. What was he said in that movie? Have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Oh, yeah.
That's cool, man. I like him that. He was a little bit more over the top with Jack Nicholson's character.
Oh yeah,
but
definitely.
How was it they said he came to be in the didn't like something spill in his face or something?
His name was like Jack Napier or something like that.
Yeah.
He was like, "There's no more Jack, just only Joker," or something like. I don't remember exactly.
But something happened. Like something got through in his face.
I don't remember.
Like it caused his face to be like that in the movie. They kind of gave him a backstory.
Yeah,
but it wasn't.
I hate that though. I hate when movies try to make their own stories to it. Like Rogue, Anne Marie, and now the comics just went along with it.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't think so, but whatever.
What's your number 2 though? I can't.
Number 2. Number 2 and number 1 is definitely gonna throw you off. But we were talking about this earlier, and we talked
about the Joker solo.
Joker solo.
I thought we.
Oh yeah.
Well, I thought we agreed.
Well, it's really gonna throw you off because we were talking about independent comics, and I forgot who I put down in my 1 and 2 until I looked at my list.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the Governor from The Walking Dead.
Really?
Yeah. Because I don't know if you've read the Walking Dead comics.
I have.
Man, he is brutal.
Yeah.
Like his first thing is he chops Rick's hand off.
He's really out there, man. He's a lot different than what people have seen on.
Oh gosh, yeah. Like he's brutal. Doesn't look anything like the guy.
The show version of him is a lot more toned down.
Oh yeah.
A lot more toned down.
Like what he does in Michonne is pretty bad. I won't even bring it up on the podcast.
because they kind of hinted towards it with him and Maggie.
Yeah, they did.
But the Joker in the comics wouldn't have been like.
You mean the Governor?
The Governor in the comics wouldn't have been so nice. And like,
no. No, he didn't care. He just did not care.
Yeah, it was very, very.
He gets his just due though by Michonne.
Yeah, I mean
she should have killed him.
He pays very badly. But
it does really
I can see that. I can see that, man. The Governor's just.
Then he comes back with a tank.
Yeah, in the comic books, he is terrifying.
Yeah.
He is definitely terrifying. I wish they would have done a little bit harder Governor.
Oh, yeah. I guess they were just a little afraid to with AMC because they probably just barely got away with doing something.
Now, though, it seems like they're just wide open on that.
Yeah.
I feel like the Governor now would be completely different.
Oh, definitely.
A lot more.
But my number 1's a lot worse than the Governor.
They made the Governor a lot more emotional.
Yeah.
You know, in the show, like, he wasn't really like that.
No.
He was more just a crazy man.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't like a politician.
Yeah. Okay, what is your number 1?
My number 1, it comes from my childhood because it was one of the first villains I ever read when I was younger. And he always just stuck in my mind, and it's Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom's a pretty good character.
I mean, when you really think about villains and who's the best, I mean, Dr. Doom is just...
He's iconic
up there, man.
when it comes to...
Remember the game... what was the game that he came out with where you could be...
Ultimate Alliance?
Ultimate Alliance, yeah. You remember he was the main villain in that.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
I mean, that's who Dr. Doom is. I think he could really get a lot of other supervillains to follow him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like he'd be like the mastermind.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he could just get all the villains to come together and be like, yeah.
Look,
like he would be their king. You know, like if all the villains came together and like, let's vote for a leader, that's who they would pick.
Probably. He's definitely he's a politician with superpowers, basically.
Yes, he is. He's a politician with superpowers. He's a genius. He's just mysterious. He's just everything. I love Dr. Doom. You know, the Fantastic Four are always after him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just Dr. Doom. It's just to me, like I said, growing up reading Fantastic Four comic books, there's just nobody sticks in my mind as hard as Dr. Doom does. And I hate the fact that nobody can get Dr. Doom right on any of the movies.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate that. I don't know what it is about the Fantastic Four movies, but they cannot get anything right on those movies.
No, they can't.
I had such high hopes for the new one, and it came out and it was a piece of crap.
It was like 3 different movies.
And I was so let down by it. The whole first part of it is just a science project.
Is it?
Yeah, have you not seen it?
Nah,
don't watch it.
I was just guessing at the whole.
It's sort of like the first hour is them just trying to build something to get to like this alternate plane, and they get there, and they leave Dr. Doom behind, and they go back, and he's there, he's Dr. Doom, he comes back to Earth, and it's pretty much like the last 30 minutes, just one big fight.
Oh man,
that's it. But it's not a real fight. It's like it's a fight, but it's not a fight. It just happens so fast. Like it's like you're just sitting there for an hour, just like, man, I want to hear them talk about mathematics and physics and how to engineer stuff and crap like that.
So Big Bang Theory.
That's all they do. That's all they do. Just talk about it.
I'm sorry you didn't like it.
Nah, I was like that.
Are you ready for my number one?
Yes.
You're gonna be even more excited about it when it comes October.
Okay.
We're gonna see what happens.
Okay.
Negan. I think Negan is my number
You got
one.
Walking Dead on the brain, man. That's what's wrong with you.
I do.
But I'll give you that, man.
But, I mean, that's definitely the big stuff right now.
Oh god,
Like
yeah. Nobody has an interest in a comic book like Negan does.
It's so brutal.
Nobody makes their presence known like Negan.
I was about to point to the right, but we're not in the actual place that we're normally podcasting.
Yes.
I was like, check this out. This is what he done to Glenn.
Yeah, I read that every time we podcast. I'm like, oh man, that's so sad.
I haven't got to read the new comics with him yet, so I'm not really sure what's going on with the Whisperer's War. But he just now, he had met Alpha, so I'm sure he's done something to start the big war. So I'm excited to read that, just to see what he does. But that's my villains right there.
Negan, to me, Negan's one of those characters. It's a villain, but you wouldn't mind seeing his backstory.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like if they had like a Walking Dead subcomic, and it was just about like here's Negan's story, this is what he was doing before the apocalypse, and this is how it all happened, I would be all over it.
You just now mentioned that, and earlier I was talking about what I couldn't remember what it was, the website and everything. I remember what it was now because when you ever said subcomic, there's a mention of Rick's brother, real short, in like one of the first couple episodes or issues, and they actually made a website. It's a webcomic, and it's done through Walking Dead. They gave they said they okay for it and everything, but it's about Rick's brother. I forget his name now, but I'll get the website and I'll mention it next week. But it's the whole story of what he's doing. Like it actually follows him around through the zombie apocalypse. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah,
That's killing me.
I like webcomics sometimes.
I do too.
And all stuff, but sometimes fan fiction can be kind of off the wall.
Okay.
You know. So
I mean, if there's webcomic you want to read the Star Wars webcomic on Webtoons.
Yes.
Because it's real good.
Yes.
That's something you want to read.
I've heard you talk about that before, I think.
It's pretty good.
But that's interesting. That's interesting. I don't know you go hardcore Walking Dead.
Sorry.
I still don't agree that it's better than the Joker though.
I was just going
they're big, but I mean it's just you got to think about Negan's big now, but the Joker's been big for years,
forever.
Years. I mean it was hard for me not to put him number one.
I know. But I was just going on my personal
opinion. I guess you're gonna go more with your heart. I went more with my mind.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, I really did.
Especially my number one. My number one, I did go with my heart because I love Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
I think one of the first, we mentioned earlier about when we were playing HeroClix when we were younger. That was like one of the first ones. Anything Doctor Doom I had to have.
Oh yeah, I still got your Hero Clicker Doctor Doom by the way.
Oh,
you gave it to me. If you want it back, you can have that.
Nah.
I don't fix it anymore.
I didn't know where that thing went to.
You gave it to me.
Where would I give you?
You gave me the Thing. You gave me Human Torch, and I think Doctor Doom.
You should understand how important that. Oh, that was the. Oh yeah, I remember now. That's because they had like 1,000 things.
Oh yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not giving that story about how we had like 1,000 copies of that stuff.
Yeah.
Which we should have had all along. But whatever. Let's go to heroes, man.
You want me to start it? You want to start it?
You do this time. I think.
All right. Number 5. It's gonna throw you off.
Nope.
Considering I didn't pick Spider-Man instead of his character.
I know exactly who it is.
Spider-Gwen.
Iron Fist.
What? No, Iron Fist never gonna make my list of anything. I'm sorry.
They're making a Defenders show on Netflix.
Yeah, Iron Fist.
That's pretty cool. But we'll talk about that now.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on there too.
Yeah, we'll talk about another day.
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
I'm really excited, Spider-Gwen.
She's the newer one.
Yeah. So there you go. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I mean,
what's new? I mean, how many issues are there already?
Well, they started it once, and I guess it didn't make it in 2014.
I don't remember that.
I don't either. But I remember reading the recent one.
The new one was pretty popular. A lot of people like it.
Yeah, I think it was because the old one was so... Like, it must have been like a cult following or something. It didn't have a whole lot of readers, but the readers that did read it must have petitioned for it or something. Or I don't know what happened. But anyways, they brought it back. It's a good comic. Check it out. Spider-Gwen, if you want to know what happens if Gwen was Spider-Man instead of Peter Parker, and Peter Parker was just a dorky little friend.
It's a pretty cool idea.
But it also...
Is there a love story? Does she still love Peter Parker?
Actually, the comics that I have read, I'm sure there is, but the ones that I've read, it's not yet. But they're just buddies right now. From the ones I've read, I don't know about the newer ones.
Because you can kind of see why Peter Parker likes Gwen. because she's hot and he's not. It'd be kind of hard for her to be like, this dorky guy.
But they're both real smart. Like they're both the top of the class character or in their classroom. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Here's another thing I like about the Amazing Spider-Man movie. They made Peter smart, but he wasn't like super genius-fied.
oh yeah, she was definitely smarter than he was.
Yeah.
That actually gets me to throw in something else real quick. She's actually going to make her debut in animation in Ultimate Spider-Man. I don't know the time, I don't know the channel or anything like that. But you can Google it. Check it out.
That'd be weird to see how that take. Let me get to mine here.
Okay.
My number 5 hero, Iron Man.
Iron Man. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Not because Robert Downey Jr. A lot of people are going to say, it's because Iron Man.
Yeah.
But I've actually read a lot of the Invincible Iron Man comics growing up. I wish I probably will collect them one day. But I really like that comic book. If you've never read an Iron Man comic book, you should check it out because it's really, really good. Tony Stark is a very, very deep and complex character.
Oh yeah.
And I love him. The villains aren't as good in the comic books. There's a couple good ones.
Yeah.
But it's more about Tony Stark and just his personal
life.
And it's just good. The Invincible Iron Man, the first starts, is very, very good. They tackle a lot of crazy issues about drinking and stuff. Back then it was kind of, you didn't do that stuff.
Yeah.
And they talked a lot about it, man. And I really liked it. So,
I agree.
that's my number 5. Invincible Iron Man.
Actually,
what got me that?
I actually didn't like Iron Man, and but I wasn't real big on like Captain America and Iron Man and stuff in comics until I read Civil War, and then of course I sided with Captain America and said Iron Man, so I didn't really care much for Iron Man until Robert Downey Jr. played him in the movie. So yeah.
If you ever get a chance, go back and read the older Invincible Iron Man series, the first pretty much the first series that they did, and it's just great, man.
Oh, let me tell you a quick little story real quick. I was talking to my dad about comic books because he used to read comic books a lot when he was younger. I asked him, I was like, well, what was your favorite character? And he said, Iron Man. And I was like, Tony Stark? And he's like, yeah, Tony Stark was my favorite character. And I was like, really? And I started thinking, I was like, did my dad name me after Tony Stark? So I might actually be named after him.
Oh, no.
He never admitted to it, but I'm thinking that's probably what it was.
Craziness.
That's crazy.
That could be it. Not named it Iron Man, know it.
Are you ready for mine?
Yes.
It's going to throw you off.
You said that. You have it. You told me
every single time. It's Storm.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see that.
Really? I love Storm. Storm's one of my favorite X-Men.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you. She's an awesome X-Men. That's your favorite?
Yeah. Well, that's my number 4 favorite. Mostly, it's the Mohawk Storm, when she was trying to find herself in the older issues. Kitty Pryde didn't want anything to do with her because she shaved her hair. That's my favorite Storm.
Storm is really, really hardcore in the comic books.
She is. There was a story they actually never... It was in the works, but they never done it. I remember reading it in a Wizard comic. Magneto done something to change the Earth magnetational pull or whatever. And the only way to fix it back was Storm. Storm was the only one that could do it with the weather. And she done it, but it ended up killing her. And I guess they didn't want to kill off Storm, so they didn't even use that story. But she's definitely one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, Storm is a very, very awesome character in the comic books.
Not the movies. I don't like the movie Storms.
No. She's a lot different in the comic books.
Oh, yeah.
And even in the cartoon. The cartoon's probably the closest to the...
Oh, yeah. I like the cartoon Storm.
To the comic book Storm. She's really powerful.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times, man, she goes after some stuff. It happens.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let me get on to mine now.
Were you on 4 of yours?
Yes. My number 4 is... Batman.
I can see that.
It's bad to look up notes to kind of remember.
Yeah. But you're just thinking like the everybody knows characters right now.
It's hard for me not to go with the popular characters. I want,
there's a reason why they're popular.
I like, it's like, I use what's in my head, and I love indie characters. There's a lot of indie comics I read and I like, but when you talk about the best of the best, you talk about like the real legends of comics. Like, what's the real, like, if you were like, I got to go on Desert Island by myself, what am I taking?
Oh, yeah.
You
take some Batman.
So, Batman, especially like the earlier detective comics. And just he's been redone so many times, and every time it's a different approach, and some are cooler, some are worse.
Yeah.
You've got you got the Dark Knight series, which is probably my favorite. I think is
yeah, I agree.
Just when he gets a little bit more mature. When you like read the detective comics, he's more like, hey, Robin, let's go stop this guy. And more like the show.
Yeah, I love this show so much.
But when he starts getting a little bit darker, you start getting like the Dark Knight and stuff like that, and he gets darker. Just Batman, man. Just every iteration of him is just awesome. And he's just so iconic. The cape and the cowl is so iconic. I couldn't do a list without putting him on there.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I'm not a big DC
agree.
fan. I hate to say it, I'm not a big DC fan, but they have some of the most iconic and best characters.
They really do. Superman and Batman.
So I had to put Batman on there. That's my number 4. I know a lot of people put him a lot higher, but I love Batman.
Ain't Batman. All right, my number 3. All right, well, when we made this deal, we're gonna pick our top 5s.
Iron Fist.
It's definitely not Iron Fist.
There's a friend I had that probably put Iron Fist on there.
I went with the comics that I've read for the longest period of times, the ones that I would go back and read right now if I had the chance. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Really?
Yeah. I know he started as a video game, but he had a comic book series that lasted a long time.
Oh, yeah.
In fact,
I read some Sonic comics before.
it's awesome. I love Sonic. I don't know if you'd really call him a superhero, but if you were calling comic book characters...
Well, he's a hero. We're not doing superheroes. We're just doing a hero.
Okay. Well, he's got super speed.
Yeah, he's a hero.
He's a hedgehog. Hedgehog moves that fast.
Well, the Hedgehog was such a big part of our childhood.
It really is.
From anywhere from the early morning cartoons.
No, I love those.
And I think a friend of ours actually has a bunch of Sonic comic books, and I actually went over to his house when I was younger and read a bunch of them, and they're pretty good. They're good comics.
But they really are. They got a good story with the king. I guess Robotnik captured him or something like that. I can't remember now, but they were on the verge of trying to find him. It's almost like the cartoon series.
Yeah.
But they introduced Knuckles in it, and Knack the Weasel? I don't remember now.
Yeah, Sonic's huge, man. From the comic books to the games to the shows. They wanted to be a live action movie.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Johnny Depp plays Sonic the Hedgehog.
Hey, don't mention it. We might do it.
Kevin Smith would.
Yeah, that might be better than somebody else doing it.
What number is that? Number 3?
I was on number 3, so that means you're on
number
3.
My number 3
That's right.
is Spider-Man.
I seen that coming. Actually, I seen that coming number 1, honestly.
Really?
Actually, no, I won't say it yet. I'm going to wait till you're at number 1 and see if I can guess it.
Okay.
I can see Spider-Man, definitely.
I can't put him at number 1. I'm a huge fan of Spider-Man, but I can't put him at number 1. I grew up reading Spider-Man, and definitely the shows, like the cartoon shows and stuff, were really good. But I just couldn't put him any higher than that. I love Spider-Man. There's not a lot to say about Spider-Man. Everybody knows Spider-Man.
Definitely.
Everybody expects it.
Oh, yeah. If we made this list like 10 years ago, Spider-Man would have been my top pick.
Really?
Yeah, I love Spider-Man.
How come?
I don't know what started me not really caring that much about Spider-Man. It must have been the comics, probably. Reading comics. And just felt like it was the same story over and over again or something, maybe. I don't know. But
Spider-Man's got a lot of different... What's your favorite section? What's your favorite series of Spider-Man?
It's got to be Amazing Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah. But
any particular story?
Right off the bat, I couldn't think of any.
Clone story, maybe? Remember the clone? That got a little crazy with the clone story.
Maybe the symbiote suit.
Ooh, that's
I like that. Or the Death Gwen.
That's a good one. Spider-Man, dude. Spider-Man's got...
He's got so many stories.
He's got the best villains.
I think
that's one reason I kind of... everybody says that, a hero's only as good as his villain.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Spider-Man I think one thing that helps him is he's just got so many great villains.
He really does. He's like the Batman.
Just top 5 villains off the top of my head. Let's just think about this.
Dr. Octopus.
You got Doc Ock. You got the Green Goblin.
Kingpin.
You got Venom.
Yeah, Venom.
You got Carnage. Carnage is huge.
Yeah, he is.
There's a Funko Pop of Carnage I'd really like to have, but it's like $40-$50.
Oh, wow.
But it's awesome. What's another one out there?
Kingpin.
Yeah, Kingpin.
Vulture.
Rhino. What was his name? Morbius?
Oh, Morbius, the vampire. Yeah.
He was in there. Spider-Man vs. Wolverine.
Well, didn't Spider-Man introduce Punisher and Blade? I might be wrong, but
I'm pretty sure he did. I think Punisher was hired to kill him.
Yeah. He had
Electro.
Was it Crazy?
Sandman.
No, yeah, Sandman.
Clayface. No, Clayface. Clayface, man. I thought it was Spider-Man.
Nah, Clayface was there too.
Yeah. I just remember, I keep thinking about the Clayface earthquake I had. You probably had. I think I had.
Everybody had Clayface.
That big, what was it, like construction?
Yeah, it was like a block. Yeah,
he's just carrying it around. But he was such a horrible one.
Did you watch that Batman animated series with the introduction of Clayface?
I think so.
When he was the actor, and he must have burned his face. I can't remember.
Yeah, and he kind of big gloop thing.
Yeah, that was a crazy episode for a kids cartoon. I love it.
He was like real sad at first. And he's like, "I'll kill everybody."
It was real deep for a cartoon. But that's the way 90s cartoons were with
Let's
Batman.
get off Babyface.
Yeah, you're right.
Spider-Man, number 3. He's the best.
All right. My number 2?
I still got the jingle in my head for Spider-Man. Do you remember the Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. You remember the Jack Black version of Spider-Man?
Wasn't it like an old live-action Spider-Man movie? I keep remembering this image in my head of
I do
Spider-Man
too.
like in a barn or something.
Actually, I think it was going to be a TV series.
I don't remember what it was. I've never seen it. Like he was like in a barn or something. It was like, hey, I was like, what the fuck is Spider-Man doing? It was just very, very strange.
I really think that was a TV series they were trying to do.
Probably was.
I don't think it lasted maybe a couple episodes or something.
It probably was.
like that.
I remember that clearly in my head. I just remember thinking, what's Spider-Man in a barn?
There's some weird stuff on YouTube if you look it up, like Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh, that's crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff, I think. Anyways, let's move on. What's your number 2?
Number 2 is going to throw you way off, but it's not
Okay.
going to if you think about the villains.
I doubt
I threw in Rick Grimes
it.
as he's not number 2, but I was sitting there thinking, I was like, reading the comics right now, who would be one of my favorite heroes?
Uh-huh.
Rick Grimes is he's let me down a little bit in the comics because he's turning into Negan a little bit.
You picked Daryl.
Daryl's not in the comics. I picked Carl.
Really?
Pick Carl
You're number
Grimes.
2?
Yep. Carl's awesome.
He is in the comics. I'll give you that. He's awesome
Yeah.
in the comics.
He's amazing. He's definitely not the same character in the cartoon.
No.
Carl he's a straight up good guy in the comics,
Mhm.
but he's like Rick but times 10.
Yeah.
He's
He's like
amazing.
Rick without losing his mind.
Oh yeah. Well, he does what he wants in the comics now. He's like, I'll just go save what's her face now
Yeah.
on his own. Like he leaves and she was part of the Whispers at the time or something like that.
Mhm.
But at the same time, he might have caused the whole Whisperer war. But whatever.
Probably did.
But that's Carl. I like Carl. I love the fact that he got half his face shot off and he has to hide it from the rest of the group.
That's weird, man. You're going really Walking Dead hard. Something,
I love Walking Dead right
something's
now.
got you, man.
It was a year ago.
There's a
wasn't it?
Walking Dead show tonight, I guess.
Sorry.
My number 2 is Cyclops.
Whoa. I would have never guessed you picked Cyclops, but that's awesome.
Yeah. Probably my favorite X-Men of all time.
Yeah, mine too.
Um,
Mine too.
and
Can I tell you a secret real quick?
yeah.
It's my number 1. So my list is done.
Oh, you're into it.
So we can both talk about Cyclops for a while now.
Well,
I
Cyclops,
love
man,
Cyclops.
he's my favorite X-Men. Really peeved that they never really did him justice
Oh, they ruined him in the movies.
in the movies. Even in the new iteration, I don't think he's that cool.
No, he's not.
I mean, Cyclops, man, in the comics, man, he's the leader.
Mm.
He's the one that keeps it together. He's the one that gets the job done. If it wasn't for him, I think they would have lost like first battle.
Probably.
You know, he was there for people even knew who Wolverine was.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he
Definitely.
was the man. And then Wolverine came along.
I still think Cyclops would kill Wolverine.
He would.
Just take the visor off.
I mean, come on, he could melt like a mountain in half.
Yeah. He would tear him up.
And he would just melt him away.
There was one comic, it was around 2000, it was when Emma Frost popped up in the comics, and her and Cyclops were having their little thing. But she was talking to somebody, I don't remember who it was, but Cyclops was training or talking to somebody or something or other. She was just talking about him. She said, I don't like to really get into his head because it's just all strategy all the time. Like he's constantly trying to figure out if something was to happen, the situation out of it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why.
Yeah, he's
probably
just he's the man.
X-Men.
He's the leader. He is the leader of the X-Men.
Mhm.
You know, Professor X is more just like, I guess you call him like a
The
consultant.
Yeah.
You know,
really.
He's more like there if you need some advice.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, he's the one. You know, Cyclops is the one that goes and gets it done.
Mhm.
And just always my favorite, man. I just thought it was so cool. Like he was just.
Oh, yeah.
And then the movies came out. The first movie, he was a little bit that leader type.
Yeah, I loved
The
the
first
one.
X-Men, he was pretty good, and he was the leader. He was kind of like, yeah, you know. But then the second one was just complete Wolverine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got excited when he was fighting the security guards, and then Lady Deathstrike in the second one pops out, and she just wears him out.
Yeah,
I was like, they're finally going to give Cyclops the cool action scene that he deserves.
That would never
They
happen.
didn't. No. Cartoon series, they got Cyclops pretty good. Especially the first episode with the Sentinels. Everybody else is having so much trouble fighting the Sentinels.
Yeah, he's just cutting them in half.
And Cyclops pops up and just shoots his head off, and
Yeah,
it's
just
over.
cutting them right in half.
They really. The comics,
He's
though.
like, what are you guys doing?
yeah.
Get your act together.
The new comics now have, I don't remember exactly the storyline behind it, but they've actually split the X-Men.
Mhm.
And Cyclops is actually in prison
Hmm.
as a villain. Because I forget what he done exactly. And you can leave a comment if you remember, but I would have sided with Cyclops no matter what.
Yeah.
I'd be like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I just hate the way they're moving away from Cyclops. 'Cause I think a lot of people that read the old X-Men comic books, grew up reading the X-Men comic books,
Mhm.
knows how important Cyclops is.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just, I don't think the X-Men are the X-Men without Cyclops.
Nah, they're not.
Does that make sense?
Sadly,
They're
everybody's
just
a big
not-
Wolverine now.
Yeah, there's not. Especially X-Men Last Stand. I mean, I don't want to, beat a dead horse, but come on, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He was cool at the beginning, wasn't he?
Jean Grey can't control herself, and she just murder Cyclops.
Yeah.
But she can hold it back while Wolverine's coming over.
He could have just destroyed her right then.
Why didn't she just say, "Kill me, Scott," and he would just zap her in half?
Nah, he probably wouldn't have.
That would-
He loved her too much to do that.
Yeah. Wolverine didn't. He killed her.
They got his eye color wrong now.
Oh, Lord. There's Dick Bacon. There's
And
Dick
Dick Bacon. That was the first thing I noticed when I took that visor off. So
I
that's
love
not right.
Cyclops. I love him.
Me too.
Wouldn't be no Cable without Cyclops.
He was actually, I was going to put him in there, but I was like, I want Cyclops more than I do Cable.
I mean, there is no Cable without Cyclops.
That's true. Him and, it wasn't Jean Grey that was his mother, it was a clone of Jean Madden.
He's like, I ain't your daddy.
There would be no Hope Summers either.
Yeah, that's true.
If it wasn't for Cyclops.
Yeah, he's falling in love with what's Wolverine did?
No.
Nothing.
Cameo in every other comic book there is.
Just living forever instead.
There was. Let me throw this in there real quick before you put 3 number 1.
I'd love to see a comic book with just Wolverine and Cyclops going at it.
I would too. I'm sure there might have been.
I don't feel like it'd work very long. I feel like it's open. It's like an open space.
Mhm.
Like you're just gonna rush him. Cyclops should go. Okay.
He's done.
Maybe if they were like in a tight corridor,
Oh yeah.
Wolverine got the jump on him. Maybe.
Because he still has to have at least one cell to
Right.
regenerate, right?
Yeah. Well, the thing about Cyclops is a lot of people don't know it. I mean, he was good at hand-to-hand combat.
Mhm.
Like he fights a lot of people hand-to-hand.
Mm-hmm. He's like,
Like, he's not just going out and zapping everybody.
No.
Like he does fight people hand-to-hand. He
Yeah.
beats them. He beats them up.
There was an issue. Cyclops, Professor Xavier must have died, and I could talk about Cyclops forever. But there was an issue where he was the headmaster, and everybody was surrounding his desk and giving all the complaints and everything. And it was around the time the movies came out, so Wolverine was in everything at that point. And Cyclops, he was just sitting there, and Wolverine's like, "Listen, Cyc, I can't be on every single team." that just cracked me up because he really, literally was at that time.
Yeah.
And I was like, "That's great." But anyways, what's your number 1, sir?
My number 1 is, what do you guess it is?
Superman.
Ah, that's right. You know me too well.
Well, he's
It's gotta
iconic.
be
I can see
Superman,
that,
man.
yeah.
Superman. The S on the chest.
That's true.
The man, dude.
He's
Made
definitely powerful.
Made cape wearing cool.
He did. Wearing your underwear outside your pants.
Yes. Yeah, not a crazy thing, but a cool thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Cool. Not like Quellman.
No. Superman, dude, I mean, he's the hero of heroes.
Mhm.
He really is. At the end of the day, if you're going to want somebody to come help you, you're going to say Superman.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
he's,
he can do
he's
everything.
smart and he can do everything. You know, he's a little allergic to glowing rocks. But that's cool, man.
It is kind of the worst. I don't know. I can't think of words. It's getting late on me. I can't think of the word.
Well,
Weakness, I guess, for any kind of character is kryptonite. This is a rock.
at the end of the day, though, man, we had to have something.
Yeah, I
Without
guess
kryptonite, woman, what are you going to do?
that's true.
Well, I
Yeah.
kind of feel like they kind of got smarter after they went with it so far, because then they started making like Doomsday and Darkseid were like, well, they're strong enough to hurt him.
Yeah,
You know, so he's not completely invincible.
yeah.
But I think when they were just like, man, you know, Lex Luthor can't stop him.
No, but he's always the villain.
Let's invent something they can use against him.
Yeah.
So, and man, Superman, he's just a man. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to pick against him.
One of his weaknesses is people with the initials LL. Lois Lane, Lana Lang, and
Yeah,
Lex Luthor.
yeah, you got LL, but you better stay away from him.
No, man. It's going to cause you trouble.
But I love Superman, dude. I love Superman comics. He's got. I wouldn't say he's not up there in the character has the best villains.
Mhm.
I think, you know, Batman's probably got the best villains in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Then Uncanny X-Men.
Definitely.
And then it probably goes, it'd be real hard to pick either probably be over Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because of Galactus.
Yeah, Fantastic Four's got Galactus, but I think
Doctor.
I'd still drop them down below Superman. I'd put Superman in like firm number 4 because he has Darkseid, Doomsday, Lex Luthor. Even though he's a human, he's still pretty cool. Bizarro.
Oh yeah, Bizarro.
Remember Bizarro?
Who was the motorcycle riding guy from his comics? I can picture him. I can't think of his name. I'm sure everybody else listening to this podcast can think of his name. I just can't. I'm not worried about it. It's not going to kill me.
But just those characters alone are just enough to make it awesome.
I agree.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. Cyclops still the best one.
I can't put Cyclops over him. I do love Cyclops, but At the end of the day, I mean, when you're talking like who's the, I mean, you got to say hands down he's the best.
Yeah, he's definitely more. People are gonna know him that doesn't read comics or anything.
Maybe this way, Negan could probably kill Cyclops if you got hold of him.
Nah.
If he snuck up on him, he's got him. But if he snuck up on Batman, hits him with Lucille, Superman should be like, "What'd you do to me?"
That's true.
And you lost.
Superman's zombie apocalypse would be amazing. Like, you ride your back for a while, Superman. I'll be around.
I mean, like I said, in the day, if you're gonna pick a hero to come save you, you're gonna pick Superman.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Zombie couldn't buy Superman, could he?
no.
Couldn't break his skin.
legs.
Yeah. Oh man. Unless it was a kryptonite zombie.
Mm.
Should we be writing DC Comics for him?
Maybe.
That'd be a good one.
Mm.
Crap, we're gonna steal it.
Yeah.
Alright,
Messed
guys.
that up now.
Yeah, I did. I just lost $1 million. $1 million right there.
You had no idea right there down the drain.
Alright, that's all the time we have for this week.
One guy
Don't-
listening is like a DC.
He's like, I love DC. I've never listened to you guys again. Thumbs down.
Like a DC executive somewhere. Sitting in his mansion. Ooh. This is why I listen to stuff on the internet.
For some reason, he listened to us all the way through the entire podcast.
Just to get that. He's
Just to
thinking
get that
about
one little thing.
Also, they say about freaking zombies and Superman.
You know what? There was one point in time where me and a friend of mine were talking about Captain America, and we're just like, he's just a man, bullet could kill him. Right after Civil War, someone assassinated him. Yep. That happened. Stole our idea.
That's what we gotta do.
That sucks. But anyways, that's all the time we have for this week. Don't miss next week's episode of the Weekly Loot as we discuss our top 5 television characters. Ooh, is that like geek stuff?
Hmm?
Geek characters?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we are a geek show.
That's true.
No, it's about Rudy. Rudy's gonna be my favorite one.
We did talk about sports there for a little while.
That's a movie. Wait, oh man, I'm so off right now.
You are.
I'm off my game. You throw me off with your crazy list.
Sorry. Was it Sonic or was it
It was all of it. Just the whole thing.
Alright guys, if you like this podcast, you can subscribe to us on iTunes, SoundCloud, YouTube, or wherever podcasts can be heard. You will be sure to find us looting it up.
Yeah, we like to loot stuff.
We do. We're looters.
We're looting knowledge and bringing it to you.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish we were looting gold. But
Yeah, we can't find it. It's lost its value a
find
little
the
bit.
gold. Maybe we'll go on an epic quest one day.
Yeah.
Find some good loot.
You guys can also check us out on social media, on Twitter at The Weekly Loot, or Facebook at facebook.com/The Weekly Loot. Thanks for listening, and as always, happy looting.
See you guys.